In today's episode, a feel-good family tech support tale. A stubborn condescending caller. I didn't read past the first sentence of your reply, so maybe you didn't understand, and I should ask again. No one checked the basics. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. A feel-good family tech support tale. Seeing some other feel-good stories inspired me to post this one from just this past week. Have been reading your stories furiously since joining Reddit last year, but this is my first post in this subreddit. My fiancée and I traveled to the Midwest, USA, to see her parents. Due to COVID-19, we have not seen them in just over 2 years. Since extended family Christmas was cancelled due to Omicron, and both her parents and the two of us being fully vaccinated, we felt comfortable going to her hometown to spend Christmas with them. My in-laws are getting ready to put their house on the market and had some home repairs to take care of, so I made sure to bring my power drill out to help out. I'm the son of a handyman, so I've learned several things since I was a child. While finishing up one repair, my MIL mentions that my brother-in-law's laptop has stopped working and asked if I can take a look at it. I happily agree and get to work on it. They assumed the laptop was a lost cause, but I was up to the challenge. Immediately I figure out it has to be the battery, because the computer is having issues fully booting up, even when plugged in. My laptop was having the same issue earlier in the year. Unfortunately for me, my laptop is completely soldered in, so I had to drop the $$ to get the battery replaced, but my BIL's battery is removable, so I was able to order one at the local electronics store. Then I messed around and realized that both the hard drive and memory could be upgraded, so I figured as a Christmas present, I would upgrade everything and give his laptop more life. I go pick up the parts the following day, make the switches to battery and memory, add the SSD, and move the HDD to the DVD/CD drive, and voila! Computer is working like a beaut. I proceed to clone the HDD and copy everything over to the SSD. I follow a video online and seems like it did it properly. That was the first time I'd cloned a drive. I wipe the HDD and restart. Oh no! I get the dreaded blue screen. I fiddle around for another hour and realized I'd done goofed. I go to bed with plans of getting a USB the following morning at the store, so I can reinstall Windows. In what has to be a lucky accident, when I cloned the HDD, I created a partition in the SSD. I left half a gig unclaimed / unused. I used that to create a new partition to reinstall Windows, and got the computer up and running without hassle. I also managed to save my BIL's files. Last time he had used the laptop, also 2+ years ago, he was applying to jobs, so this laptop had his only copy of his resume, due to the partition, so despite my earlier goof UPS, nothing was lost. My BIL was very appreciative that I took the effort to fix his laptop. He gave me a coin from his collection, a silver dollar from the 1800s. Unbeknownst to him, I also love collecting coins, so he and I now have a common hobby to connect over. While this was a favor for family, I'm glad my goof up didn't cause anyone any lost files. I also will endeavor to learn more about cloning hard drives before I get to work on upgrading my fiancé's laptop so I don't repeat my mistakes. A stubborn condescending caller. Short background story. I was working at a large BPO IT service desk company for 4 years. During that 4 years we were a voice account, meaning we get calls to troubleshoot, and as much as possible to resolve the issue on the call. We can also remote into the computer if need be. This happened before the pandemic of COVID-19. Fortunately, we only support employees of client company, so most of the caller are calm and collected. The company is considerate and also employs senior citizens, and usually works at home, and depends on their role/job they will be using either personal or company-provided computer. Main story. Okay, to add a little more info for the story, this is about being sent secure emails cause since the end user is not using a company computer and doesn't have yet a company email, they are being sent to her by secure email. FYI if not familiar with secure email. If one is sent to you, you will have to log into their company's secure email site to view or read the email. Now on with the call. Right off the bat, the caller is already an irate caller. I was trying to de-escalate the call so that she can properly explain on what her issue is and why is already irate. The issue here is that when she is trying to log into the company's secure email site/page, she keeps getting the message "session expired. Please log out and back in to get /refresh session." From the error, I seem to know some causes of that, but just to make sure, I ask, "How were you opening the site?" and she answered me as if I should know the answer where else from the computer. From the tone and how she answered, I know this caller is stubborn and sometimes does trust IT support and seems making it hard on purpose. So I calm myself down and rephrase my question. I mean, like, how are you opening the site? Like, is it saved on the computer or a link from an email? And still in an irritated tone, it's saved in the computer. From much probing from her, the issue is that she bookmarked the login session of the secure email and keeps using the link to view her received secure mails, but don't know if all company secure email sites does this. The login session lasts for like a few hours. After that will say that's expired and you need to access the home page and either log in again manually or reset your password. I tried to explain to the caller the issue and how to fix the issue in a permanent way, but she said, shouting at me, I am not tech savvy, so I don't want to log in and enter my username and password every single time. I just want to click and get logged in immediately without all that login and password crap. I tried explain in a way more basic way that the session expires every few hours cause of security reasons, but she would not accept any other way than the way she wanted. So I gave up explaining after like 3 to 5 times. And just assisted the user in getting her password reset, all the while sighing as if this is the company is making it hard for her. Like every time as her to type like her email or password before typing, you will hear one big deep sigh, and getting her logged in. I deleted the bookmark and replacing it with a new one. She did say thank you before hanging up. In my company every Friday we get all the surveys our callers filled out and submitted. From the caller mentioned above, she gave a negative survey cause I didn't fix her issue, and it occurred again. Have to call us back again, and specifically said that I was no help. On good side of this, the call went into QA and got perfect scores for both ticket documentation and call flow. I didn't read past the first sentence of your reply, so maybe you didn't understand, and I should ask again. I got an email from one of our regional technicians. He wanted to know how many pins a particular sensor was supposed to have. It's an understandable question since it looks like one of the pins is missing. I replied that the sensor only used 3 wires and only needed 3 pins. The 4th pin on the sensor is cut off at the factory because it doesn't do anything. I then get a reply 5 minutes later with a photo of the sensor asking me if the 4th pin was supposed to have been cut off. I did a Ctrl+C Ctrl+V of the relevant sentence I just sent and was rewarded with a cheerful reply thanking me. That will teach me to answer questions while on vacation. I only answered because I had nothing better to do while I waited for dinner to finish cooking, and this one looked like a fish in a barrel. No one checked the basics. I had my own tech on-site support company for home and small business users for 15 years. Basically like the Big Blue store before they went nationwide. I got a call from an older client who could not maintain a solid internet connection. It would go on and off repeatedly throughout the day. I always traveled with extra parts, network cards, power supplies, graphics cards, etc. She tells me she had the cable company out 2 of 3 times, and they replaced the modem each time. She took it to a nearby shop that said it must be the hard drive, and replaced the HD and reinstalled the OS. Now, I always listen to previous things done, but also take the approach of start at the beginning, check the simple things, most likely to be the cause of the problem. Her network would go on off every 30 to 45 seconds. I checked her internet with my laptop, and it was stable for much longer with good speed. After powering on her desktop and observing the network adapter in the control panel and device manager, I could see it, the network port, disappear and reinstall every 30 to 45 seconds. From this I deduced network card could be failing or a bad slot in the MB, no onboard Ethernet. Tried a new slot and a new card, same symptoms. I also suspected the power supply, but tried the other two things first. I installed a new power supply and her old network card. Power up and the problem was solved. Less than an hour, stayed for the full hour minimum to check her AV, bloatware, etc., and the cost of a new PS, she was good to go. No one else had bothered to observe the actual problem and jumped to a conclusion, and didn't even test to make sure their solution fixed the problem. I could forgive the cable tech, they usually don't and are told not to change out parts. The other company though, to just blindly replace the hard drive and reinstall the OS and not run a full test after. Neither tech had checked that it was fixed, as it was a repeatable and short time frame for the problem to repeat. Rule out the simple stuff that is also quickly checked first.